Why most men will never be respected. The unseen law of respect. Most men believe respect is something they earn. They believe it comes from effort. From patience. From being useful. From being good. That belief is the reason they are never respected. Not because they lack value. Not because they lack intelligence. But because respect does not respond to effort. It responds to something far quieter. Something most men never learn to control. Pause. The more a man reaches for respect, the more obvious it becomes that he does not have it. And people sense that immediately. 1. The illusion of respect. Most men grow up absorbing a comforting story. Work hard. Be kind. Be honest. Be reliable. And eventually, you will be respected. It sounds reasonable. It sounds moral. It is also false. Effort creates usefulness. Kindness creates familiarity. Consistency creates dependence. But respect is not built from any of these. Respect does not rise from what you give. It rises from what you don't need to give. This is the part society never explains. A man can be useful and still be dismissed. He can be kind and still be ignored. He can be dependable and still be invisible. Because respect is not a reward system. It is a perception system. And perception does not care how hard you try. It watches how you move. How you speak. How you react when things do not go your way. Most men confuse effort with gravity. They believe intensity will pull respect toward them. In reality, intensity repels it. Number 2. The brutal truth about human nature. Human beings do not decide who they respect logically. They decide instinctively. Before a single word is processed, the nervous system asks, is this person emotionally stable? Do they need something from me? Can they walk away without tension? These questions are answered in seconds. Not through speech. Through posture. Through timing. Through restraint. This is why emotional control matters more than morality. A man who reacts quickly reveals dependence. A man who explains himself too much reveals insecurity. A man who seeks to be understood reveals need. And need is the enemy of authority. This is uncomfortable, but precise. People do not respect virtue. They respect self-containment. They follow the person who seems unaffected. The one who does not rush. Does not chase. Does not collapse under misunderstanding. That calm registers as power. Not because it is aggressive. But because it suggests independence from outcome. And independence is rare. Number 3. The behavior of respected men. Respected men do not announce themselves. They do not explain their decisions in detail. They do not argue for validation. They do not rush to correct misunderstandings. They speak less, not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand timing. Silence is not emptiness to them. It is pressure. They allow conversations to breathe. They allow discomfort to exist. They do not rush to fill space. And when they leave a room, nothing feels resolved. That unresolved tension is what lingers. They do not seek alignment. They state their position once. If it is accepted, fine. If not, they do not negotiate their spine. They walk away without drama. Not as a tactic. Not as a performance. But because they are not attached to being chosen. And that detachment is what makes them difficult to ignore. Number 4. The cost of wanting approval. The desire to be liked is subtle. It disguises itself as kindness. As empathy. As flexibility. But underneath, it is a request. A quiet one. Accept me. Approve of me. Validate me. The moment that request exists, leverage disappears. Because approval creates hierarchy. The one who wants it less holds power. Approval seekers over-explain. They tolerate disrespect. They soften their edges. They trade authority for acceptance. And the tragedy is this. The more agreeable they become, the less seriously they are taken. People sense when a man is afraid of losing approval. And once that fear is detected, respect never fully forms. You can be liked. You can be trusted. But you will not be deferred to. Final warning. Most men will never change. Not because they cannot. But because the truth is uncomfortable. It requires letting go of the belief that effort equals value. It requires accepting that respect is not given to those who ask for it. Only to those who no longer need it. And if you listened until the end, subscribe and like. Awareness alone is not enough. Understanding the pattern does not remove you from it. Once you see how respect actually works, you start noticing it everywhere. In who people interrupt.